All right, everyone. Welcome to another XAFer community stand-up. Today, we're going to be discussing XAF 25.1 roadmap. Really excited to have Dennis here. Dennis is XAF project manager. He has been with us in a couple of events and always brings us directly from DevExpress the latest and all the features that are happening. I'm really excited for 25.1. There is coming really a lot of great things, especially in entity framework. We're going to start not doing migration, so hallelujah, and Electron and so on. So I'm not going to go to the roadmap. I'm going to let Dennis do that. But as always, please join our Facebook group. Right here, the community asks questions. We post articles, we post videos, and everything that is XAF related. Same thing with the LinkedIn group. And right here, want to mention the new UI customization post. We're growing with more screenshots, with more applications done, really customizable and really beautiful. So if you guys have any screenshot, please send it to me. I would love to keep doing this part 4, part 5, and keep adding more screenshots to actually show the power that we have right now with XAF. As always, I'm gonna let Hochi introduce himself first, and then Danny can introduce himself and just jump right straight on the presentation. Really excited about this.
Hi everyone, my name is Ocho Ojeda. I guess you know me by now by so many meetings that we have. I work for Sari and Bit Frameworks, and we do SAF 24/7 basically. So if you have any question, you can send us a message on the Facebook group.
My name is Dennis. I'm a product manager at DevExpress. I'm working with multiple products. Actually, XAF is one of them. I'm very excited to be here. Thank you to Hoche and Jose for organizing this meeting. So I'm going to show you a lot of interesting things, hopefully today. So let's get started. Hoche, let me get control.
Are you sharing already?
Not yet. Not yet. Okay. Can you see my browser?
Right now,
Yeah.
we can see the browser. We were seeing Visual Studio.
Okay. So today I'm going to talk a lot about what is coming in 25.1, which is set for release in early June, as always. And today is March. It's a few months left, and we, as always, we are planning to make early access preview release at the end of this month, hopefully, and demonstrate some of the stuff we have already implemented, and also to ask for additional feedback, and just to give you a chance to play with many cool features that we planned and implemented for yourself. So as always, for roadmaps, it's just the best view of the future, and as always, future changes. So beware of usual disclaimer here. And it's not secret that our next major release is focused on Blazor mostly, and there are also some general enhancements or core enhancements to anti-framework code, to security, and I will go one by one shortly. So the first big thing is about UI design. It's a new thing basically, and in 25.1 we have planned to research how to best implement this new Fluent theme in XAF. I remind you that currently in 24.2, it's available as a preview for our Blazor components. So XAF Blazor doesn't support it yet, and we plan to research the best ways to do it because it's a quite complex task, and we hope to show a final version in XAF Blazor at the end of this year, not in 25.1, but in 25.2 in December. Currently, you can play with our Blazor component demos. I'm currently showing you our release notes from 24.2. You can see, as I said, you can play with the demo to see how it works and looks in action. But basically, I wanted to highlight a few key moments for this theme. First, of course, it's icons. For example, if you look at the current XAF demo, you can see icons in certain style. Microsoft Fluent UI is certainly different. Icons are mostly flat, and there are many front icons. And for us, one of the challenges is to recreate hundreds and hundreds of icons for our components and XAF as well. So that's why it takes so much time, actually. Also, as you probably know, Microsoft Fluent UI, it's already implemented in modern Microsoft applications like the latest version of Outlook, both desktop and web applications. And they also have a special structure, I mean, layout structure. So like navigation on the left, there is a side panel. On the left also can be a ribbon menu or classic line menu. There are special plugins, etc. So it also requires quite a lot of adjusting, especially for XAF applications, because we have our own custom menu elements, our own actions toolbar, and also, as I also mentioned in our roadmap, we are planning to research integration of the ribbon menu in XAF, and then also it will also happen at the same time with the release of Fluent theme at the end of this year. For ribbon UI, our main motivation is to help customers to allocate or integrate a lot of actions on the screen. Because currently, in a typical complex line of business application, you might have like, I don't know, like 50 menu comments, and it eventually results in collapsing this menu toolbar, which is not much convenient. And ribbon certainly helps with that, because there are multiple tabs. For example, you can see like here, it's an Informs version. You can see that you can certainly place like 20, 30, 50 actions with this, especially when it comes to integration of rich text editors. I apologize for the delay because Zoom has some overload, but I hope you understand the point. For example, here you can see a rich text editor and additional contextual tabs and dozens and dozens of actions. So what else? We also continue our journey with accessibility support for both platforms, actually, for Blazor and Informs, XAF Informs later this year. You can already find what we have already done in previous releases in our documentation. You can see we part documents for our components in the first place, and also special documents for XAF as well. And we hope to complete these documents and to have full compliance with modern accessibility standards. And as part of that, improved keyboard support is certainly important. And like many of you, we used to shortcuts in the WinForms applications like Ctrl+S, Ctrl+Enter. We also want to support it in XAF Blazor UI. So we want to make it even closer to WinForms UI in terms of usability. What else? Every release, we try to improve our grid list editors because it's the main control. It's a key control, and we don't want compromises here. One of the requested requirements is to make it easy to control column sizes. And you can see that we have added a new best fit new item, which adjusts column width according to content. Also, we have added additional menu to clear sorting. Just again, just to replicate the same experience in our WinForms components. So I hope you will like it. Also, what's else on the table? Yeah, it's banded layout support. It's when you can allocate data not in a single column, but in multiple rows or columns. I don't have a good example here, but this feature is pretty similar to a row preview feature. Just forgot to it's similar to what is demonstrated here, just bigger height for rows and additional ways for you to place your cells. What else? We also want to support infinite loading in Blazor list views by default. Currently, you can see that we rely on this, I'll say, not ancient, but quite standard approach for web applications using a pager. And we just want to, again, replicate a similar experience to WinForms when you can just scroll and scroll and scroll, so no page. And we think that it will be more usable. And also related to this, we want to change the default behavior of to open a row, to open a detail view. Instead of one click, when you want to support double click like WinForms. What else? There is also a small enhancement to list views in master detail mode, which can be seen in our main demo and department view. You can see there is a splitter, and detail part can be displayed on the right, at the top, at the bottom, on the left. And previously, we had a property in application model to store the position of splitter. And this property was basically an integer. And it didn't allow us to store a relative position, which is, as you know, it's critical for web applications because of different factors. Yeah, we had some solutions to still achieve this in web applications, but they require coding. Now we just introduced a new property called relative position, that just to make it easier. You can set it in the model editor, and also it will be stored between your application, web application runs, so it will just work. And finally, about enhancements to grid list editor in Blazor, it's just a small API enhancement. It's related to a way to control column settings for Blazor, for WinForms, and even for WebForms universally. I mean, currently, one way to customize column settings is to access platform-specific list editor, for example, DX, Grid, list editor, and access its columns property and iterate. But there is also a platform-agnostic way to do it through this nice column wrapper API, which basically replicates what you can see in the model editor for columns. So you can see properties like sort order, sort index. So just a nicer way to write code, especially when you need to support multiple platforms, which is quite common for XAF. Well, that's it for grid list editor enhancements. Maybe we have some questions I can address before going further. Jose? I just can't see.
Yeah, we do have one question. Let me. All right. So it says, will the size of memo fields will be stored in the model as well, like the splitter position? So I think they're mentioning of when you have a memo field that you know that you have on the bottom corner, that you can drag it and make it bigger or smaller. So basically, they're asking if that's going to be stored on the model as well.
Yeah, I understand the requirement. It's possible to implement it manually. We just haven't planned it for this major release. Just if you need assistance how to implement it, just create a ticket in the DevExpress support center, and our support engineers will be happy to help you.
Got it.
Okay, let me make a quick demo. It's about. I just want to jump to some nice entity framework core enhancements because it's related to data editing, data safety, consistency. So it's quite important. I have, as you already saw, I have already started Blazor applications. Blazor application is basically our main demo. and also WinForms application. And I just wanted to demonstrate a nice enhancement to Anti-Fire Core. It's support for locking. Let's imagine a situation. I just want to edit first name, and at the same time, another end user wants to edit exactly the same object, but in a different application, in a different way. So here you can see, for example, I want to set a different value, and now it will save because I just loaded it. It just took the latest value from the database. But now, if I go back to my Blazor application and try to edit exactly the same property again, it should show a warning because there is a collision, and an application offers me ways to resolve this collision. So I can either use my own changes, like 4 instead of 2. I can reload my data from database to use some else value, or I can discard my changes. And it's also working in WinForms application, of course. For example, if I edit it here and try to edit it here, it will display the same volume. Yeah. It's interesting that here I'm intentionally showing you a case with a collision. If you, for example, edit different properties, like here, I edited middle name, and here you edit another property. Let's just for a test. It will just save without any warnings, because XAF can automatically understand that there is no conflict. So let's just save. This feature is also supported in XPO, of course, and I hope our EF Core users will enjoy it as well. Let me go to Visual Studio and just demo another small enhancement. It's just something that is already available in WinForms applications, but it was not completely implemented in Blazor. We supported static ways to define a tooltip for any business class property, for any navigation item, for layout items. And here I'm just using the simplest way to do it using an attribute. I can also launch the model editor and specify a similar property for a list view, detail view, or even navigation items. And XAF will render a tooltip in the application UI. Previously, you would need to, at least in XAF Blazor, you would need to write some code for that, some control. I apologize again for the delay because Zoom slows down Visual Studio a little bit, especially when debugging. That's what the property I actually need. and in this case, it's for navigation item. Let's just try to launch and see the result. If you have any questions, I can try to answer.
Yeah, we do have the same issue with Zoom, so we know what happened when we're sharing the screen and Zoom started slowing everything down. So the question is one that we have had several times, and basically is if Entity Framework Core is getting favored over XPO. That's the one that we have on the chat right now.
And the question, is it, how to say, a favorite, right?
Yeah, if Entity Framework Core a favorite over XPO.
It's not a secret. We have an article on our documentation website that its title, unless I'm mistaken, it's why do we recommend Entity Framework Core for new projects? Yeah, we are trying to improve. It's not a secret. We are trying to improve Entity Framework Core support in XAF just because it's on a different stage, on different levels than XPO. XPO ORM is our very mature and powerful product, and we also continue making enhancements to it, like fixing bugs, updating the database drivers, implementing features like, I don't know, like recently date-only support and only support. So we try to support both at the same time. It's just important to understand that obviously in our roadmap, in what's new release notes, you'll see more about Entity Framework Core just because, as I said, support level is different, and we try to make them equal. It's like with Blazor and WinForms. So it's an ongoing task. And also here it's important to know that you can still use XPO if you like it more. And that article that I wrote on presentation site, it clearly says that if you like XPO, just use it. And I don't know, it's your choice, it's your preference. Okay, let me.
And one last question, Dennis. So
Okay.
the feature that you chose about concurrency, we have a question about if there is anything we have to do to migrate an older project to have that one.
Yeah, nice question. Basically, you don't need to do anything. Like this soft deletion feature for Entity Framework Core plus the release, this one, and also additional enhancements to EF Core in 25.1. We have done everything automatically for you. So there is a breaking change node. It's already public that describes how we did it. Actually, we try to implement these features at the core level. I mean, at the level of EF Core base object class. So it's already there. And in cases when we need to add additional fields to database, for example, with soft deletion, it's a field GC record with this concurrency feature. It's a optimistic log field. We'll do it automatically for you, so we don't need to worry. Okay.
Perfect. Thank you.
Just back to my demo. As you remember, I edited tooltip in model editor, and it's displayed for navigation item and for my birthday editor. And also we supported it in list view as well. So if we are using like tree list or grid list editor, you also add some tooltips here, which can be helpful in certain scenarios. Okay, let's do some more major. I think Jose will like it personally, because as far as I remember, it's one of the things that stopped you from using EF core previously. So I will just add a new property into my employee data model, and okay, let's make it even more complex. Let's also do this. Like I'm doing it manually, just so you can see that there is no tweak. So I am defining a new class. Also, I need to go to my DB context and also defining DB set here, right? So unless I'm mistaken, it should just run. Let's hope for the best. And as you may expect, it should automatically create a new field in the employee table and also a new table test in the database. And we can witness it, hopefully, if it runs. We can witness it in both application UI and in application database. Because I have my SQL Server Management Studio open. Again, sorry for the delay from Zoom. Let's wait for database update.
In the meantime, Dennis, I have a comment that is not a question actually about that they are saying that query intersector in Entity Framework Core allows you to do a lot of great things to intercept the query actually and do anything that you think, and that they are not aware of anything like this in XPO. I want to mention that in XPO you can also do similar things. You can intercept any part of that one. You can create your own sessions. You can create your own unit of work. You can if you are in the concept, you can do your own data layer, object layer, and on all those layers, you can add your own code. So you can actually intercept the query and add or remove or do anything that you see fit. Just wanted to mention that. I'm really biased to XPO. I really like XPO, but definitely query intersectors are really good in Entity Framework. So that's my 2 cents.
Yeah, thank you for your comment on XPO capabilities. Yeah, you're absolutely right. For example, I remember there is sometimes a scenario pops up when the customer has security permissions for some like member permission for prevent reading or writing some property, and some customers want to still implement custom business logic in C# to still access this protected data. And for this, you can use the aforementioned XPO capabilities. You can create a custom unit of work. You can control update statements, read statements, and also you can plug it in using custom object space provider, and we ensure that it's easy to integrate together without writing a lot of code. So let me check the demo. Yeah, I see a test. I just don't see a navigation item for my new class, but I think I might have forgotten something. Let me check the database. Let me refresh the list of databases and tables, and go to main demo database. Yeah, it's here. I just forgot to configure something in the UI level. So, and just another illustration for what I was talking earlier about migration. I'm using 25.1 and I inherited my class from base object, and you can see that we automatically enabled this self-deletion and concurrency features here. And here's my property. And also in, I think it was in employee, yeah, you can see my test property. And it just worked. Of course, it's working in debug mode. And internally, we are leveraging the AF core migration feature, and it's quite powerful. I think it's even more powerful than XPO one. So I believe you will enjoy it.
It's beautiful.
Okay. Let me get back to roadmap. Another nice AF core enhancement is support for clone object module. And here I should mention that due to the nature of XAF, its cross-platform nature and even cross-ORM nature, we made this support. I mean, our one module supports both XPO and AF core at the same time. And for that, we made a small breaking change. Previously, if you remember, in XPO applications, you used a method like add clone in XPO. Now they just add cloning because we support AF core using the same code base. And I also want to emphasize that you will have no breaking change, no compilation error, because as always, we try to minimize breaking changes, and our project converter will take care of everything for you. So it will detect this previous call and replace it, so it will just work. And also, it will update the package because previously there was a suffix like XPO, now it's just cloning. Yeah, it's just clone object. Yeah. So another nice feature. I will not demo it, just not to spend more time on debugging due to Zoom. What else? For it, this enhancement impacts mostly AF core, but there is also a part that helps XPO customers for .NET Core in particular. We decided to get rid of DB updater for .NET Core applications because, as you probably remember, Blazor application itself, it's capable of updating database. So why to have another tool to just for update? And basically, we have this update procedure coded in program CS. You can see it here. And we have just supported it for WinForms applications where it was missing. So in 25.1, for .NET Core applications, we will just use this command line parameter and application itself. Again, the obvious benefit for you is that you will need to deploy a separate tool you need to deploy assemblies for this tool. It will be just your application capable to update database. That's it. .NET Framework applications are intact. And for the first part, for EF core specifically, we have just refactored project template files. I mean, how database update part is organized. For example, you can see if you go to business object folder, you can go to DB context. You can find additional factories for database update. Yeah, like this one, we just simplified it, so you may not think much about places where to change connection thing. It should be just one place. Yeah, and also it's not done yet. We cannot demo it right now, but we want to simplify experience for all customers in our solution wizard to typical database scenarios. I mean, just to make it easy for customers to select. For example, I want SQL Server, I want MySQL, Oracle, and not code this connection string manually. It's the main motivation. And I think finishing with EF core, we also simplified ways to connect to middle tier application server from non-XAF applications, because security nowadays is a very serious topic, and many other applications, not only XAF, can benefit from our middle tier application server. So we just simplified API, made additional extension methods. So it's just less code for you to, in such scenarios, to write. Any questions so far on native framework core enhancement?
No, on Entity Framework Core, we don't have any questions. We have one that basically is if there is plan to support the script recorder module, KPI, and workflow on Blazor server. So basically, if there is not on the roadmap, so you feel free to answer.
For easy tests script recorder for Blazor, now we have, at least we have a plan this year. You can write those tests manually and manually in C# and in EasyTest scripting language. Actually, we in the past for us the importance of script recorder module was higher, just because we didn't have capabilities we have today. As you probably know, you can currently write tests, functional tests in C#. It's powered by Selenium engine, and we are heavily using it internally to test everything we create with XAF. And we recommend just using it because it's, again, C#. It's compiled, you can detect any errors, so it's just better than a plain text script. So that's why we're not planning to do anything with script coding. As for KPI and what else? KPI and I forgot.
And workflow.
As for KPI, I think I discussed it a few years back, also in roadmaps, when we talked about data analytics and XAF in general. KPI is, as we, at least based on our usage data, we see that it's quite a niche module. It's not very popular, to be honest, similar to, for example, pivot chart module, and we recommend our customers to use our dashboard module in the first place because it's more powerful. It also allows you to create data analytics at runtime by your end users. It's highly configurable. So we see it a better solution. That's why we are not pushing KPI or pivot chart server. And for dashboards module, we ourselves were missing, how to say, ad hoc charts, like when you don't want dashboard, I mean, for the whole screen, I mean, in main window, but I want to embed a chart somewhere in your detail view. I don't know. And for that scenario, in 25.1, we have planned enhancement. I can't demo it right now, but I can explain the idea. The main idea was to implement a view item, a new type of view item, which allows you to plug in any Razor markup. You may recall this concept from WinForms and even WebForms. There is a special type of view item. In WinForms, it's called control view item, and in WebForms, it was called custom user control something view item. And in Blazor, in 25.1, we implemented similar. For example, you can just, if you want a chart, you can just go to, I don't know, like our Blazor component chart demo, just copy markup, Razor markup into a file and specify a path to this file in the model editor. And it will automatically print this markup to data, to business objects. Security will work automatically. So that's our answer to such requirements. And finishing with workflow, as you remember, original workflow, it was available only for .NET Framework. It was built, it was powered by Windows Workflow Foundation, which is currently an obsolete technology. It has not been ported to .NET Core by Microsoft, and so there is no direct replacement for Blazor, just to answer your question. At the same time, we see that and recognize that workflow scenarios are still important for certain kinds of applications. And there are also open source solutions like Campfire or Plus. And our customers successfully integrate such solutions internally. And there are multiple modules already, community modules, for example, from Expand framework by Apostolis APIs. And also there is a nice workflow module from Llama Hunt made by Dave. And you can use those already. And we recommend it in Support in documentation. And also for custom workflow scenarios, because not every module can fit any use case, it's already possible to write your own. I mean, in Support Center, sometimes customers come to us and ask how to export, I don't know, export a report to PDF and email to like hundreds of customers. And you can just write either console application, either web API service or whatever you prefer, and it's just 5 to 10 lines. So I hope I addressed that question. Okay, let me get back to the remaining enhancements in 25.1. I already talked about clone object model support for both anti-fraud core and XPO. Also, there are nice cross-platform enhancements. In the first place, it's my favorite. How XAF Outlook inspired demo is my favorite demo. It's quite complex. It has a lot of custom controls, a lot of business logic, quite complex. It has a lot of data, and we decided to include this demo into our installation by default. And I like this demo also because, how to say, close to real world, and also it demonstrates many best practices, for example, for custom property editors, view items. Like here, you can see a report, a PDF viewer embedded into a form. And our goal with this demo is to remove more and more code from it. I mean, not to make it like basic, like main demo, but remove code related to custom property editors, because we hope to include more and more out of the box. Previously, I was talking about charts. Also on the roadmap, and it's currently in the works, there are additional property editors. Many of them might be familiar to you from the Supper Center. And we just hope to include it out of the box and make the code on this demo simpler, and also it will be less code for you to copy and maintain in your own projects in the first place. Also, for example, recently this requirement pops up less, but a few years ago it was quite popular. It's about our enumeration property editors. As you probably know, our data source property or data source criteria attributes, they are designed for lookup and collection property editors. But some customers still wanted to filter their enumerations. And we have made it possible in 25.1. I saw a huge number of requests for this functionality accumulated from past years. It was, I think, more than 60 or something. So I hope you will appreciate. The syntax is just standard criteria language, and it's the same as for property. So also advanced features supported, like current object parameter, for example. What else? Let's talk about Blazor again. This feature is for customers who want additional layer of security for their Blazor applications. So by default, our default XAF Blazor step is that you publish your web application on some web server machine, and typically a database server resides on the same machine or somewhere close by, for example, in Azure scenario. And it's already, it meets already many requirements, if not the majority, I think. But there are cases when you don't want to keep your database close to your web application or on the same web server. For example, when this database is used by other applications, contains very sensitive data, and There are some other reasons. And for this highly secured environment, you can utilize our middle-tier application server. So instead of direct connection to database from web server, a Blazor XAF Blazor application will first connect to endpoint, protected endpoint. It will authenticate, and only after that it will be allowed to access data through that middle-tier application server. And this, I also want to remind you that this middle-tier application server is a default option for XAF WinForms applications for more than a year already, just because in case of desktop application, you don't have this protection of web server. I mean, web server is usually accessed by administrators, but in case of regular laptop workstation, you just can connect to database directly, and someone can try to intercept your connection, and it's not a good thing to have in some environments. So that's why we recommend using middle-tier solution by default. And this one is also enhancement to our Blazor and desktop users, but for non-Windows platforms. Our idea is to make it possible for customers to build desktop applications, hybrid desktop applications, where an XAF Blazor applications will be running inside a web view. If you are familiar with Microsoft Outlook, the latest new version, it's exactly the same schema. So we have, as you know, Microsoft has Outlook web application, and what written in React, unless I'm mistaken. And what they do, they just take WebView 2, it's a wrapper, basically a browser, a wrapper around your browser, and they put a web application inside. And then they take a native application container for Windows, for Mac, for Linux, and just display this browser inside. So it looks similar to standard desktop application. And as you know, there are many applications built using this scheme, not only Outlook, also Teams, VS Code, and it's quite a viable approach and quite, I would say, cheap approach if you want to cover your Mac users using the same code base. So you will have browser applications like we demonstrated, and the same desktop application running on Linux, Windows, and Mac OS, just within the native container. That's the idea. To finish with roadmap plans, I want to talk about our multi-tenancy model because we continue to improve it. As you probably know, we have released it just recently. I think it was 23.2, and our first release was how to say, we considered it just to collect early feedback on the basic setup we provided. And now we have accumulated a lot of feedback. We have prioritized it based on what we see is aligned with our own vision of the module based on the number of requests. And one of the popular requests was to make it possible for multi-tenant applications to access some shared or common data. For example, like we have some global application settings like tax rates, formatting settings, and similar data. And we will make it possible to keep this data in a host database, so every tenant can access using transparently, I would say. So it shouldn't be concerned about writing complex code. Developers will be just using standard I/O space APIs, and that's it. And currently, we already have solutions for this scenario, but they just require writing code. As in our example, it's like, so we wanted to simplify it. And also, it was also quite popular requirement to from developers to write code to get an office space specific to a certain tenant, and we implemented a shortcut for that, of course. So you can just use a similar call, create a space, and just specify your type and your tenant name. These API shortcuts are used for mostly, as I remember, they're requested by customers who were implemented custom workflow solutions, like we discussed earlier. So you want to implement some service inside your Blazor application, and you have to, and you want to run this common code from a certain tenant. I mean, to impersonate your code from a certain tenant, while still being in the context of a host application, for example, because it's a global service after all. So we just reduce the amount of code for this from these to these. And also, we haven't forgotten our backend web API service. It's quite popular among customers. It's used also a lot by non-XAF customers, not surprisingly, because it's just easy to get started, to get a running middle tier service using OData. And we have a plan to implement just top three requests for this service, which are deep insert support, because it was partial for XPO only, unless I'm mistaken, and also batch operation support for both data access technologies. And again, since we supported concurrency, we can now also implement it here. Okay, that's it. I think at least the most interesting parts. Not everything I mentioned in roadmap. There are tons of smaller enhancements, which I think we can talk about close to June or to April or May. But that's it for now, and I'm open to questions, suggestions, as always, here or in the support center or email.
Yeah, we have one question about if they're going to be, or if there is already a GitHub repo or a template for SAF Blazor with Electron.
We don't have a template right now. We will create it in 25.1. And I remember, I think you guys, unless I'm mistaken, Hocha, you also experimented with that, like I think even 2 years ago. So
yeah, you guys can go and check the video. We have it on our YouTube channel, and I think the repo is in there as well, so you can play with it.
Yeah, exactly. Because I remember a customer of, I think I mentioned it in a roadmap, a customer, he used exactly your YouTube video, and he succeeded.
Yeah, I have one of my first XAF apps in WinForms that is running since then. It's just, they are still using it, but there are like a really small team and they don't want anything web, but they a lot of time, like the owner has a Mac, and that's why he used the most. So he's always complaining they have to go back and get his Windows laptop. So this is perfect for him. So he doesn't want, they are not too good with security because they use the same username as the same password and everyone knows their user and so on. So they don't want that in the web that anyone could access remotely. So that's perfect for them.
Okay. In our case, we of course we want to integrate middle tier part of the puzzle because it's as I mentioned already, it's just more safer. Okay. Other questions?
I think that's all the questions we have so far. If you guys have any other questions, please. We have Dennis right now here, so make good use of it. I can give some comments in the meantime because I do really am excited for everything that is coming. I think that the tag box, check it combo box, and the progress bar, definitely that's one of the things that we have built custom property editors for, and I think that that's one of the things that I see more new XAFers asking for. They say, hey, your video about the progress bar, hey, can we do the tag box? So I think that coming out of the box, that will definitely helps a lot. I also want to mention, and I see that Juan has his hand raised, so I'm gonna let him speak, but I just wanna finish my 2 cents. So if I can share my screen for just a second.
Sure.
Let me. I was thinking about that when you were explaining. So this is from 2019. This was one old app that we did the point of sale. And I was remember we did this with a banded layout. So if you see the photo is here and the description or the title is on the bottom, that was a banded layout in a list view. So we could put two fields, one on top of the other one. That was a category a list view that when you click, then we filter the product list view. And like, so that banded layout sometimes gives you a lot of flexibility to move your UI around and make some really good things, staying in the SAF world without having to do some custom property editor or some any other customization. So I wanted to mention that. I also wanted to mention that really nice about multi-tenant not having to do a new object space provider. The fluent UI icons, having hundreds of new icons like to select from, that's definitely good for everyone. I have like every time that we're going through a project and I see one of our clients or devs or students having the same default icon in every navigation, it drives me a little bit crazy. Say, okay, we have some nice icons. Let's put them over there. One thing that we also have done is on the enumeration. We had to create a custom property editor to be able to filter down the enumeration based on a condition. So having those attributes for the data source, that's really amazing. And I have to say, I'm still gonna love XPO more. So sorry everyone, but we're doing our next meetup on getting started with XAF and Entity Framework Core because we don't want to leave the community that is using Entity Framework Core also behind. So we'll cover that. So stay tuned for that. And let me check the questions that we have. All right. I say, so this one is just nothing to do with XAF, but we do not see the roadmap for Maui. I don't know then if you are is that coming soon?
We decided not to publish a roadmap for Maui this time because we are focusing on like it's quality focused release. So we have planned stability enhancement, performance enhancements, also documentation enhancement. Because if you check previous major releases, we were running like horses, you know. I saw always in software programming just need to sometimes you need a break just to do some health checks to clean your room, etc. So we are not going to publish this roadmap. Still, anything anything doesn't work, if anything doesn't work well, if you are missing some controls, you can still contact us in the support center. Our support team will help you. We are also fixing bugs, as you can see. Also, I can't help mentioning that our product manager wrote a book based on about MAU UI in general, and also he's my big friend, and also how to say not Padawan and colleague because and I'm extremely happy for him, and for his book he implemented, I think, like 50 examples using MAUI and JavaScript controls, and there are various scenarios. I mean, general purpose scenarios related to security, database access. So there is a lot of MAUI stuff going from us and
Yeah, I have to say that I personally have not read the book yet, but I know a few people from the Microsoft MVP that are talking about the book, and every review that they are mentioning is really good. So definitely it's in my to-do list to go over the book. So
yeah, Alexander is cool. Yeah, he's a good writer.
nice. All right, so we have another question. Juan is mentioning that for grids with more than 1,000 record, he always like instant feedback view, but he lost a lot of functionality from the grid that he has when he used client mode. That if there is any plan to support more functionality in instant feedback mode.
More functionality like what?
That's a good follow-up question. So, Juan, just feel free to mute yourself or just to type follow-up on the chat. And as always, like those are questions that it says that we lose target object criteria, for example, for actions. I want to mention about that. I don't know, Juan, if you were the one who put that comment on my YouTube video. And I actually tested. I have a small video, and the target object criteria was working fine.
Yeah. I can imagine where it can be not working, but I don't know how much time we have left.
We do have time. We have time.
If we talk about thousands and thousands or millions of records, I mean, it's not how to say, there are some trade-offs, and JavaScript offers special solutions for that, for grid controls and lookup editors, which is called server mode and instant feedback mode. If you enable, for example, instant feedback mode view in XAF Blazor list view to handle millions of records, you must understand what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. View in the name of this data source or mode, data access mode, means a data projection. So it's just imagine I showed an employee class. It has a dozen of properties, a lot of collections, references, and in client mode you will load everything into memory by default, and it will not handle millions of records. So in view mode, you go to model editor, you understand your typical use case scenarios, you design your list view model the way to include acquired properties. For example, if you target object criteria for actions, it will work if parts of this criteria, like property names or criteria expressions, they can be executed or calculated on database server side. If you include a non-persistent memory, it will not be calculated, obviously, because it exists only in memory. Database server knows nothing about it. So that's one case where it can be not working if you did not check your criteria. But if you design it well, consider limitations of how to say of physical layers. I mean, like database, network, web server memory. Everything will be just fine.
Yeah, absolutely. So, any other questions? Let me check. All right, sounds good. Juan is mentioning here that he will address his other follow-up questions on the support center.
Perfect. Thank you.
All right. I want to thank Danny for taking the time on a Thursday to go over with us to everything that is coming on XAF. So I really enjoyed it, and I think that the future is brilliant. I always say there is no better time to be a SAF developer, but I have to like this is not there is no better time than right now. Like everything is coming together really nicely. And to get you guys excited just a little bit, probably you guys already have seen a few of these ones, but we're coming up with a lot of AI in our XAF apps. So just quick teasers about right here, we can be asking questions directly to the grid. What is the oldest car on your grid? What is the newest one? And the AI is really nice giving us answer. We can also filter our list view chatting, so we can ask them, hey, can you give me I don't know, the cars that are just Chevy, and it will filter your list view accordingly, and we can do, we see the cars with Mark 1 and the price is greater than 100, and it will go and take care of that for you, so you can get the filter. So you see it filtered down, and you can also remove the filter. Same thing with appearance rules, so we can tell them, hey, can you make this record or this amount of records change the row with the record of this model to red, and it will do the appearance rule, and we can also remove it. So we're going to be able to do a lot of things chatting with our data, chatting with our grid. I think that we already show how to create an invoice, how to create an appointment. So how to create an appointment and to the specific resource that you want. In this case, the resource will be Sari, and just running it through. So we're going to do follow-up videos on this, and we're going to be sharing more information, but basically you see right here, we have the appointment for the time that we specified. We also have a smart page. So meaning that if we have a big story about our vehicle, but right there you have the plate number, the mark, the model, and so on, it will get the information that it needs and create the object for us, so you can paste it right away. We also have, let me see, multi-factor authentication. That's for another topic, but we have also summary. We can say, hey, can you create a summary on this field? And it will go and create the summary for us here. And okay, give me another one with another field, and it will say the count is 6. So I think that a lot of things on the AI XAF work. If you are in the Spanish community, we, Hocha and myself, have 2 courses about the semantic kernel and Microsoft AI extension. Definitely, please check that out. Give us some feedback. And Dennis, thanks a lot for being here. Like, you are always invited, so just let us know.
Yeah. I just wanted to add a few more words. I'm actually writing a blog post on devexpress.com just to add more links to your AI stuff in the first place, because just to let the world know more about it, and because it's exciting, I think I told you in person, I was enjoying your webinar that you did with Microsoft like a month ago. So I mean, general one about AI. I'm following this AI thing, of course. I understand some abbreviations, but still it was helpful even for me to just recap. And I also enjoyed the presentation because it was, I mean, creative, graphics are funny, and I even shared to my folks, to the team who is working on AI internally at XAFers. I enjoyed it as well.
Yeah,
So yeah,
thanks.
really
Thanks a
appreciate
lot,
it.
Danny. I do also think, because right now it's interesting. We do XAF 24/7, right? And we're doing a lot of AI right now. So when I do a presentation about AI, I include XAF. It gives us all the tools to do a lot of things really fast. Then everyone stop asking about AI. Everyone asks me about XAF. And then when I'm doing XAF and talking about XAF, we're doing a course or something, and we show a little bit of AI. Everyone in the XAF world started asking about how we can integrate AI. So I think those two come together really nice. And for all our line of business application, we're going to be able to give a lot of value to our customers. I have another question about AI for report designer and dashboard designer. So do you want to touch on that, Dennis?
Yeah, I would say it short. 25.1 will be exciting in this regard specifically. I don't want to expose a lot of stuff, but I was doing like, yeah,
I'm
literally.
looking forward to it.
Currently, you can already interact with a viewer, to query the data, like similar to what you demonstrate. But yeah, just wait a little bit. Preview soon.
Yeah, it's hard to wait, but we'll try. All right, Dennis.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah,
thanks a
and
lot.
also,
Yeah, please.
and also, I forgot to mention. I also enjoyed your recent article about XAF UI customization. First, a lot of Blazor, like Blazor. It's quite different, like from, I don't know, 4 years ago when we were just starting, not sure, maybe not mature enough, but now, yeah. And it also reflects what we are seeing from our customers, from our data, Nugget usage or Subcenter usage. Yeah, it's very nice and many beautiful applications. I even wanted to take this link on my site, So
I have to say that nowadays, like, we have several projects, and not only that, we have now several clients that come directly with the Figma. So that was not happening before. Right now, they come with the Figma with really specialized UI, and they say, I want in these 5 screens that are the most important one, I want this really specific UI, and we're confident that we can do it. So that, like, to the point that we added a designer to our team. That was not like in our plan before, and now that's something tangible that we are actually dealing with, and I'm excited about it.
yeah. I also see this movement, because again, Figma it has become a standard a few years ago, like just by default. And you also I think you remember that we have a Figma UI kit for Blazor components, in which we are evolving, and especially with fluent UI support, and icons are going directly there by default. And yeah, I think it will be more. It will be easier for such customers with such specific requirements to reuse our artifacts and design what they need. Thank you.
Absolutely. All right. Again, thanks, Dennis. Thanks, Hoche. I want to thank everyone also that is here. And I always tell this to Hoche behind curtains. I say, I'm amazed that 30 people spend 2 hours with us in a Thursday, and they stay all the time because they could watch the video later on, but they interact, they ask questions. So really happy to do with the XAF community. Again, we'll see you next month. We're going to be talking about getting started with Entity Framework and XAF. And Dennis, you're always welcome. Thanks a lot.
Thank you
See
very
you
much.
guys next month.
You